Hello and welcome to the Proper Scoundrels podcast. Hope everybody's had a great week. Definitely some things to talk about tonight. Some weird things that were just kind of unexpected. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the enunciation on podcast.
I got to do it now. Got to do it every time.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. It's a signature. Don't ever try and kill anybody because that's what they'll come back to.
Pod-cast.
Yeah. Yes. So, what a weird week it has been. One, I have no idea where one of our episodes went because I was looking at the stats today and I'm like, surely that's not the last episode that I posted. And it's been like, I think it was posted on the 4th. So it's been almost 10 days.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, no, I upload material way more than that.
Did anything get flagged or anything?
Well, that's interesting, maybe. Because the one that's missing right now is the episode about Eye Patch McCain.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet that got flagged. But,
We're not
we
that big, and I don't put any. So, like, I don't know how much you know about AI. Nothing. Okay. So, right now, there's a big push with YouTube creators to poison the AI so that the AI fails. Because a lot of content that you watch right now kind of has the same voice. It's kind of following a format where it's kind of telling you what's happening and using weird adjectives for it.
Mm.
The lady was elated to pet her dog. It's like, who the fuck talks like that?
Yeah.
Well, Zuckerberg talks like that. That's it. That's all. Lizard people fucking talk like that. And
You think Zuck's a lizard?
you don't. So, like, I think the lizard people were like, hey, you're going to have to jump on a Republican train or people are really going to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I don't put in any subtitles or stuff like that because that's what the AI is building off of, and it'll mimic videos or just downright still videos and recreate them. And so it's hitting a lot more short form content creators, but there are some long form creators who have had their entire channels just cloned by AI, and it's just weird. So yeah, so it's kind of a spooky world. So I don't know that I put enough out there for AI for the algorithm to realize what we're really talking about. So I don't know if it would have gotten tagged just off of the title that was Eye Patch McCain. So it was just like, I know I posted that. I scheduled that for a very specific day. And I was like, I know that it was there, but it's nowhere to be found. And so I'm like, did I post it to one of my other channels or what in the hell? But I was like, well, that'll
I
happen
follow
tonight.
all of your other channels, and nothing's like giving me a notification saying that you've posted.
Nobody follows all of my channels.
Well, I follow the ones that I know about.
Yeah. Yeah. Better stay away from those chocolate starfish channels.
Yeah, steer clear of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Steer very clear of them. But yeah, so weird things happening this week. We're saying goodbye to one of our people that we knew. Like she was one of our bosses, and this past week she passed away. And it's kind of awkward because you and I both had different opinions about her. Neither of us, I think, would have ever wished her bad.
No.
But
yeah. She was a very interesting person. Like, on a lot of our leadership talks, we talked a lot about her because there were some really good things and there were some not so good things, I can say. Um, but there's a lot of people that liked her, a lot of people that really appreciated her and what she stood for and the things that she did. So it wasn't all bad with her, but there was some mixed feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have not spoken with her since she departed the company that we worked with, and haven't had any interactions at all. I don't even know if we were friends on Facebook.
No, do you remember there towards the end, she literally deleted everybody, and I never had the want to go find her or anything. And I know some people were friends with her, but wasn't me.
I am very awkward about um, connecting people to my social media. My social media identity is very small nowadays, which seems very hypocritical as we sit here to trying to be content creators, and I have a very small social media presence. But I really, about a year or two ago, I really got to the point where I was like, if you want to know me, get up in my face. And I quit posting things online, and I've been for at least a year now. I every morning I go through my memories on Facebook and delete them so that they're gone. If because if you delete your profile, it still stays somewhere. But
Hmm.
if you delete each post, they're gone. And so um, I don't know if they're still in the Wayback Machine or if they're, I don't know how it works, but that's what I've been doing. It's been a little meditative practice, a little reflection. And so for some reason, I used to post pictures of the dogs a lot, and I feel like she liked a picture of the dogs recently. And by recently, I mean, maybe in the past year.
Mm.
Um, and nowadays, when I do post something, I usually don't leave it up for very long, and then I delete it. I'm like, nope, you had your chance, gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another uh, sad incident. Another medical flyer has crashed over in Mississippi, and I know that's kind of sensitive to you and to myself as well. And three people coming back from a transport and helicopter crashed for some reason.
Yeah, that one was it touched me because I have a personal relationship with two individuals that work for that particular aircraft. They have a fleet of like four or five, but they're assigned to that aircraft. And I was only asked for a few days because I'm like, they're not releasing names, and I'm glad they didn't so they could give the family time. But I'm like, oh man, I hope it's not my friends. And luckily it wasn't, but unluckily it was their friends.
Yeah. And when something like that happens, it's hard to be like another person reaching out. And when there was an incident that happened at the city that I used to work for, and I reached out to one of my friends, and I was like, "You good?" That's all I want. Just an answer. Don't need any details. Don't need to know what happened. Just, are you good? Are you still here? Did you mark yourself safe on Facebook?
Yeah.
And so it's awkward. I've had those calls before where people are like, "Hey, I heard something happen where you work. You know, what do you know?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks."
Yeah.
like it's like maybe now's not the time to gossip about this. And so, but there is also like legitimate concern. It's like, hey, we know each other, and I would like to know that you're still alive. So
Yeah.
difficult situations. Has there been any word about what happened to the aircraft?
Nope. The only thing I heard was they were coming back from a transport, and they've been in the air for like 20 minutes or so, like coming back. So I don't know. And they
Yeah,
were
and I
flying. Go ahead.
I don't know. I have not paid much attention to that story, and where I'm at, that's not a story that's been covered very much. It's just, I guess, too far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to look for information about it, and all I saw was that they were very close to their home station
Hmm.
and uh, crashed in the woods.
Yeah. Because there was another aircraft that crashed in North Carolina like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think.
I
Um,
had not heard about that.
yeah, it was Novant Health helicopter. They went down in the woods. I think they were out of Wilmington. I'm not sure.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
beach.
butcher
So
that. Yeah, but they were coming back from a flight, and they were around the coast, not like over water, but they haven't come out and said what happened, but they put it down in the woods, and all three walked away from it. They didn't have a patient, but all three walked away. I think the paramedic broke his legs, but I think it was like a non-surgical intervention type thing. So just a simple break or so.
yeah, small miracles, man. It's
Yeah.
There was another survived crash that happened in North Carolina a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and
I know a
they,
lot about that.
yeah, they pretty much sat down like almost on Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
And
one of the Erlinger bases.
yes, and they like came in and were able to get down onto a road and slid into the woods. And I was like, I don't really know how it works, but that was some fine flying, I'm sure. Something interesting about that crash was they had a patient with them, and um, now I don't, I'm always going to make light of serious things. How about if you were on that aircraft and somebody called another aircraft to come get you?
Oh, dude, I'd have crawled my ass to the hospital. Like, hell no.
Yeah, it's like, well, I always made jokes that if anything ever happened to me, I'm going to have to go a state or two away because there's way too many people that know me,
Yeah.
and some of them are pissed off. it's it's
Like, who
like I
y'all
got
calling? Who's working? Let's figure that out first.
shit. I can't even go to the hospital. Like, but well, apparently I can because where we lived, I hurt my leg one night pretty bad, and I was pretty convinced that it was broken. And uh, X-rays did not show a fracture, but it showed something that was obviously what was causing my pain. But I walked into the hospital and nobody recognized me.
Was it a hospital that you go to all the time?
It was the hospital where we worked, the one we went to all the time,
Oh,
the one in our county. And I mean,
yikes.
like I walked in and I was like, "Hey, not doing too good." And they're like, "The doctor will come and see you." And I was like,
Thanks.
"It's like, I mean, yeah, I know, but can like we make some jokes and maybe talk about other patients?" They're like, your nurse is going to be Barbara Streisand, and she'll be in here in a moment. I'm like, man, is this how y'all
Okay.
treat people? Because y'all kind of suck, or is it,
Yeah.
or is this the joke? It's like, oh, it's one of us. Let's get real staunch and stuff, and
Yeah, it's
just like,
Davros. We got to act right.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, like I was there for probably a good 30 minutes before anyone recognized me.
Oh, wow.
Like literally, I was talking with the doctor, and he was like, "You look familiar to me," and I was like, "Yeah, because me and you were the top knot twins." It's like they would always make fun of us whenever I would come in, and I had my hair up in a bun and your hair was up in a bun back
You
when I
talking
had hair.
about Dr. B? Dude looked like Jesus.
No. He
Okay.
would have known me. Me and him knew each other outside of hospital.
Yeah, I've seen him the other night. Me and him actually had a really good conversation. I'm gonna go hang out with him when he comes to that ER that you went to.
Yeah. Um, no, it was a younger guy. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I was like, you're the only one who's recognized me. Like all these nurses that I have cut up with, that I have flirted with, that I've like, I came into this room and fault somebody for one of the nurses. It's like, I was like, and none of them are paying attention to me. And he was like, are y'all really treating the medic like he's just some regular patient? And they're like, what medic?
Hello, it's me. I'm the one. It's me.
It's like, yeah, it's like, y'all should probably listen to me when I tell you something that's going on with me because I kind of know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to be treated by people that you know?
Yes. Um, but I knew them. They really didn't know me that well.
Hmm.
So when I was just a fireman, I um I can't remember what I did. I had a chain hoist fall and it hit me like square on the head and I was bleeding a little bit. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
pulled up and I was like, "Hey, I need stitches." And they're like, "Okay." And they're asking me all the questions. So I'm like, "Here, let's just get to the chase. No, I'm not a smoker. I had no LOC, blah 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 blah." And they're like, "Oh, you must have medical knowledge." I was like, "Yeah, a little bit." No, let's get you to a room. I'm like, "Well, that worked. That was easy."
Yeah, when I broke my leg, it happened the same way. And granted, I was in a different place and in a much larger, much busier environment. But there's literally a publication that I am in, and the doctor that wrote the article that I am in, there are pictures of me in his article.
Oh wow,
Uh, he treated me with my broken leg and was just like, "Who are you?" I was like,
wow,
do I need to put on a simple blue t-shirt for you to recognize me?"
yeah,
Like most of the time I'm wearing blue pants and a blue t-shirt and just right over the head.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
funny to be treated by your pals.
Well, there's one time I took my wife to the ER for nothing crazy, but we went up there and the nurses came in and I had been away from that system for a while. This is the county that I live in now. And a lot of them walked in, they looked at me weird. I didn't say a word until the provider came in. And I was like, "Dude, what's up?" Like I had him as an EMT student while he was in nursing school, and then he became an NP, and then like we reminisced over the old times, and then he sent me a bill, and I was not happy with him anymore.
Yeah. For
But that
real.
ain't
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Like, what about a family discount here, bro?
Yeah, you run that dude you decompressed. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And you know what's really funny is your wife works for that same hospital system.
Yeah,
Granted, in a totally different place and world than the ED, but it's just like okay.
yeah,
Yeah. It's weird like that, man. It's like if you work in a big place, you could be all upon somebody that you work with and never know it.
no, for sure.
And it's funny to me now because when I see people, like there might be somebody on that truck or on the unit that might recognize me, but a lot of them are kind of like that kind of looks like somebody I know, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then I give them an old left hit, and they're like, "Oh,
that's him. That's the
dumbass."
guy.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Apparently, they're talking about that in the city. Whenever I go up there and ride my skateboard, and they're like, "You'll know it when he passes you because you'll get Just two big old man boobies. Just
Little man boobies.
yeah. It's like, be glad we're not in the locker room. I will go full Captain Morgan.
There's some people that do not get firehouse humor, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
most
and
people.
it's funny because like you can go to EMS and tell people like, yeah, at the firehouse we did this, and this, and they're like, bro, that's fucking gay, and it's like, no, it's not, you know?
Well, I mean, it is, but we've said it before: the military, fire department, police department, and that is where straight people go to test out being gay without actually having to commit.
Yeah, like in any of your firehouses, did they have like the big prison showers, or were they like individual showers?
I can't think of any of the firehouses that I was ever in that had a communal shower, but I can remember a guy who would come and get into the stall with you and would just, you're like, hey, did you read that article on uh, ventilation? Did you hear that, Chief was coming around doing inspections?
Yeah, so the first fire job I had, um, we had like we called it a big prison shower, but it was an open space and it had a head on either side that sprayed down, and it was nothing for like six dudes to be in there taking a shower in the mornings. You know, the ongoing shift and the off-going shift, they were all just like in there.
Yeah. I mean, you could die with these people, so why would you be afraid of their penis?
Yeah, but the thing is, like the bonds you have there because you live literally that close with people, second to none. You know.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there were guys in the military that it was nothing to come in and see four guys piled up on a single bed watching a movie, uh, you know, just arms over each other, laying all over each other. It's like you're no longer multiple people. You're one person with multiple faces. So yeah, and I don't think it's there as much in EMS because luckily EMS is kind of moving more to a healthcare model, and you don't see as many people um, spending time with a group of people.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of EMS stations where multiple crews are together. It's usually just two people, and two people getting intimate like that is two people getting intimate, which happens a lot in EMS. But to really have that dynamic that we're talking about, you have to have a group of people.
Oh yeah. And like even at the EMS agency I work part time at, like there's dudes there that have literally been friends for 20 years or their entire adulthood, you know, and they're working together, they're close, they're constantly cutting up and putting like cracking jokes, and some of them have like volunteered together with like the fire departments and stuff, but still, you know, they don't get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it a lot more in the vet world, uh, in the veteran, not the veterinarian. But
So you ain't talking about working on doggies?
I do love my doggies. They have been happy for the warm afternoons and the later sundowns so that they can get out there and chase that ball.
Dogs.
Yeah, yeah. But I do some stuff with this group called Irreverent Warriors, and we do silky hikes.
Which, if you don't know about them, I would strongly suggest you looking them up because they're a great organization.
Uh, yes, but more so, look up Men in Silkies. It's fantastic. You'll learn all about the VPL. Yeah, the print.
The print.
Yeah, that's what somebody's like. Quit looking at my print. It's like, how? It's like you're wearing nothing at all. It's like, don't be like me and wear some of the Ranger panties with no liner and your shit just always coming down your leg.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Do some jumping jacks.
Yeah. You got that um, that meme that toot, 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 there.
There it is.
Yep, there it is again. And people are like, all right, it was funny like the first 42 times. Like now you're just being weird. It's like,
So speaking about Silkies, I'm gonna have to cut you off real quick. So that boss that passed away, one of my fondest memories is she used to give me hell because I carried a body armor with me on the truck. And the guy that called us to tell us that she passed, it was me and him, and he was wearing body armor too. And she was like, "Y'all are so fucking stupid, blah blah blah." And I showed up to work one morning a little bit early because I knew she would be there. And I had my ranger panties, my body armor on, and I walked into her office and I was like, "Hey, we've got some questions." And then he comes in behind me and he was like, "Yeah." And we're like, "Does our squat form look good?" And then we started doing like air squats.
yeah,
And she thought it was the funniest thing ever.
yes. See, I just always embraced the body armor. I was like, yeah, I'm going full tactiqueer.
I remember you coming up on that call and you just started like pulling out your little Debbie's that you had stuffed in there and then like two little Hello Kitty band-aids.
Yes. And my tourniquet's still in the wrapper.
Oh god, that would irritate the shit out of me. I'm still mad about it.
Oh yeah, like every time you would look at it, you'd be like, you start getting that eye twitch. You're like, oh, I can't make
There's
one.
the CVA.
Yeah, yeah. I think I have a picture of you doing it somewhere. Like, oh, but yeah, yeah. I embraced it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I was like, and I had a coconut uh, hand sanitizer spray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like it, you just never knew what would actually come out of my body armor at any
Yeah.
given time.
There was nothing medical in there, I can assure you. Like
No, no, no. Well, no, because my trauma queer shears were usually up on the sleeve,
that's right.
and so I'd keep those up there until somebody stole them from me. And then I think, I mean, well, I had the band-aids. That's kind of medical.
Kinda.
Kind of. I mean, they were Hello Kitty and my little happy unicorn or whatever the hell. It's like I was in the height of it. That's when people were killing us during COVID.
Oh man, that was a great time.
Yes. Yeah, I was at the trauma center there and walked in and I had something stuffed in the big pocket and I pulled it. I think it was like, like the patient's ID or something, and I pulled it out and I pulled out a blow pop and gave it to one of the surgeons that was there. He was just sitting there holding the blow pop. And I was like, no, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's fresh. It's good. And he was like, so that's pretty cool, like, that you would wear that. And he's like, it kind of looks like body armor. I was like, oh no, it is. It's like it'll stop a bullet. I'll still come and see you if it does.
Yeah.
But it's like it'll probably not, that way I don't die on one of these stupid ambulances.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because it's the amount of violence that happens is insane. So, but yeah, but the Vet Bro stuff, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video that I sent you?
So I watched like 2 minutes of it and I got a call. But I did see the sarcasm at the beginning of it, and I appreciated that.
Oh well, he clips, or clips, stitches, whatever, edits in what the other guy is saying. Like it's his actual videos, and so I don't know how long it'll stay up, but there's one of the vet 2A vet places. So just go out and look for it. I'm not going to link to it or anything. But there was 3 guys. Started out with 2 guys. It was very entertaining, which is why I liked it. And then a third guy came in, and it's a guy that I've I've listened to on different podcasts. I've never really listened to his stuff, but I've never been offended by him on anybody else's stuff. And so he joined up with them and started being a part of it. And then apparently they got to a dispute, and he made some accusations that weren't really true. And the guy who was left just put all those accusations out in the open for everyone to look at.
Mm.
And I really appreciated that.
So I watched your. You remember us talking about DJ Shipley and the Valhalla dude?
Yes.
So I watched that video and where that like drill sergeant was like trashing on Shipley. So I watched that, and Valhalla actually took up for Shipley and like shit on the drill sergeant the whole time.
Yes. And I don't know, maybe I'm too focused on other things that are real to worry about like internet stuff. And so first of all, I really like it when people are like, hey, you know what? Here's the truth. Make your own choices, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I like about that one that I was referencing just a little bit ago, because like he just put it out there. He put
Yeah.
pictures up. The White House people call it bringing the receipts.
Yeah.
He was like, here it is. He's like, am I upset that they're gone? Yeah, they were my friends. Am I going to stop them? Nope.
Mm.
It's like, but as he sits there and talks about me and he says all these mean things, here's what we did. Here's what I did. I built him a place to live. You know?
Oof.
Yeah. So that he had like a bedroom in the office of that place that he was staying in, because and like, so I catch these vibes sometimes, and I don't, you know, I mean, I catch vibes on everything. I think that plant behind you might be eyeballing me a little too hard. If
You never know.
Man, I'll pee in it. It it'll get electrolytes.
And it'll appear right back at you. Like it's fine.
Yeah. But so like I always felt like he wasn't being completely honest about why he left his position and came down there to them. And
Mm.
he was saying it was because he refused a vaccine, and that is what kind of pushed him out. And I'm like, that probably happened, but I bet there was something else.
Yeah.
I bet it was more than that, because, you know, we worked for a very big, successful corporate machine of a company. And we were able to push that shit as far as we possibly could to keep the people that we liked.
Got mixed feelings about that. That still
Yeah.
kind of pisses me off to this day.
Well, especially now looking back. But
Well, I waited
even
for the last day.
what was it,
And
24 hours after?
yeah, and they're like, you will be suspended tomorrow if you don't have this vaccine. And I'm like, I can't lose my job. So I went up there and got the fucking shot. And then the next day, just kidding. Like, nah.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, well, there was the suspension date came 4 or 5 times. So, I mean, it was literally, it came down from corporate multiple times to suspend people. And me and the lady that we were talking about earlier, we're like, well, who's going to come down here? Who's going to take the place? Who's going to be in the car?
Yeah.
It was like, we get it. Like, but we've already got 4 people out with COVID. And so if you suspend these people, who's going to do the job?
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, but there were at least 4 absolute dates that came and went. And every time it was like, who's like, what happens then?
Yeah.
It's like, if you can tell me who you're sending me, it's like, but if you send me people from another station, that means that their station is now going to be understaffed.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, So, but, and that's something else I will say about her was that she pushed that shit hard as hell. And people that did uh, quit, because I don't think anybody actually got fired. I know
No.
we were talking about using that to get rid of somebody, but we didn't. Um, but I think there were two people who had chose to leave, but then
Yeah.
we were like, no, you can come back. But
Yeah.
one of them I
Really?
didn't want back.
Female.
Yeah.
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 I'm tracking that one.
Yeah. So it was I don't know, it was a bad time for all of us and it put everybody. But I think that this guy, him losing his job for not taking the vaccine, I think was more we don't have an easier way to get rid of you, but we don't like you, and so we're going to get rid of you.
Right. And I think a lot of people use that as a cop out back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Just like we were talking about, you know?
Yeah, because people are afraid to say what's on their mind and what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I had this conversation with somebody at work today who was talking to me about her private life. And I'm just like, I don't want to know. I don't care. I was like, I don't want to talk to you about this. And I'm trying to be polite, but I'm like, she's like, he told me to quit texting him. I was like, so don't text him.
Yeah. Problem solved.
Yeah. But we
You know,
love each other. Okay. Text him. Tell him that I don't fucking know.
it always amazed me of like excluding the fire department because it's kind of inevitable, but like other places that I've worked, like it always mind boggled me like what people are okay talking about, you know? Like there's some people that are like super private and then you have the other people that share everything and it's like I don't want to know any of that.
The people I work with have, unless they watch this, these videos, have not seen my tattoos.
Oh,
And because I wear sleeves all the time. I, I'm not shut off at work, but I'm not just in there spilling my guts all the damn time like these people are. I'm like,
uh-huh.
stop. It's like a little bit of privacy goes a long, long way. Like, because at the fire department, uh, people would learn stuff about you and then they'd use it against you.
100%.
And so it's like, oh no. It's like we are at work and we can be absolutely cool at work. I mean, there is a lady at work that I call her my wife from another life. And I mean, we get along thick as everything, but that's at work.
Yeah.
Like, so my friends are buying a new car and it is being prepared in Germany to come here. So they will not have a car until like June.
Hmm.
Uh, they had to they fought to get one of their cars condemned on a lemon law. And so they were just suddenly without a car. And so I was like, hey, I'll loan you my Lobo. And they were like, well, what will you drive? I was like, well, I'll drive my toaster. I love my toaster. So I was like, you're just going to have to come down here one day and get it and take it to the shop because I don't have time to fix it on the weekends. Like, so you're going to have to go take it to the shop and take time out of your day to drive all the way down here to where I live to get it and to take it to the shop. And
You let them borrow the truck or the Honda?
yeah, the truck. No, I'm in the Honda.
Oh,
Yeah, why?
just shocked you let somebody borrow your truck.
The Honda is what I protect.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get another truck in a couple, maybe next year. I
Did you pay
mean,
that one off?
it's getting close.
Yeah, I thought it was about time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've had a little over a year.
Hmm.
So I think October was a year. So
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, so it's
When did you
been a little
move?
over a year. May, last
Yep.
week of April. So I always say May of last year. So almost a year here,
Man, time flies.
doesn't it? It but yeah, so like I've been doing all this car shuffling and getting my car back, and now that it's got a good axle on it, I'm like, yeah, got my shit back.
Got it right.
Got my car. Yeah, I still not right. No, I could work on that thing all the time, but I'm not as worried about it like the wheel falling over. It's,
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about that made me start rambling on about my car.
I think we reverted back to the fire department and like your personal life and things like that.
Yeah, So today they learned that I have a friend that I will loan one of my vehicles to for an extended amount of time. And
You know, and I think that's just like the right thing to do a lot of times. Like, hell, I've done it, you know?
I mean, I've got two. I can't drive two at the same time.
Right.
Like, and if you think about the motorcycles, I mean, I've got more stuff to get from place to place with than anybody else. So, you know,
I have to drive the
it,
Polaris down the road.
that has happened in a snowstorm. But
Can you get a DUI on those?
oh yeah, you can get a DUI on a lawnmower.
Can you?
Yes, operating machinery on while intoxicated. If you touch a public street, gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, straight to jail. Straight to jail. But yeah, I don't share a whole lot with them. They certain people will share a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, and I work with a good group of folks, and I will talk about things, but you know, they were surprised when they found out we do this podcast, and they still don't understand why you're an angel.
Oh, really? I thought we made that clear. They don't listen to
I
the podcast.
I made it very clear. He exists in the sky. He comes to the earth. He embraces the sick and the wounded. He takes them to a healer. I mean, it's written down in the book. It's what angels do.
So
If he's
sacrilegious.
if he's doing what angels do, he must be one of them.
Must be.
Must be. Must be. So, you know, but odd times, great times, bad times, all the times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Got big storms coming up this weekend. Better have some gas in your car.
Yeah. Went and got gas today, and I work tomorrow with the with another angel, and then I'm off, and then I work again with the angels. But I don't think we're going to do anything on Sunday. I looked at the forecast, and the wind gusts are just not happening. A little bit past my comfort zone, so we're not going to do anything probably until it gets later on. I think it'll pass.
Yeah, I know it's pretty customary, but do y'all have the um, all go or one no? All go, one no?
Yeah, 3 to go, 1 to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the company I work for, they've got pretty strict GOMs as far as like um what they can and cannot fly in. But you know, every crew member has got their own preference on like what they'll do. Like we had a pilot that if the gust spread was over 12, it was automatic no for him. And he was like, I've had a patient throw up in the back, and he said, I'd never want to deal with that again just because of the turbulence.
Yeah.
And like respectable.
You know, when on the ground side, in the past, I've had a multitude of drivers, some really good, some just absolutely shit. And I tell people, it's like I can handle anything as long as I can stand up.
Yeah.
But if I can't stand up, then they might as well be in the fucking station wagon. Put them in the family's outback. Let them roll. You know.
Yeah, because there are some people. It'd be non-emergent driving down the road, and you're getting just tossed.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
like I can't
Not more
imagine.
than once. Not more
Uh,
than once.
yeah, and it's like I can't imagine running lights and sirens with this person driving. Ain't happening.
There was a girl that I worked with, and like sometimes people just aren't meant for it. And I would not allow her to operate the ambulance with lights and sirens. And I had a call one time where that I needed to expedite our transport. I literally called for a second unit to come in and drive. They were like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "Because she can't fucking drive."
Yeah,
It's like we can't stay on the road. So there's no way that we can risk it. No.
yeah.
And it's like she's not built for EMS. She might be fantastic at inner facility, but she's not built for EMS.
I don't think if it's the person I'm thinking about, I don't think I had anything with her that was emergent.
Not anybody that you and I work together with.
Okay, I thought we were talking about the one that did work in a facility.
The older lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, um oof, that's another one. Better than the one I'm talking about though.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that one was so damn crazy. We were en route to a call one time. She stopped in the middle of the damn road. She was like, "Look at the ducks." And I'm like, "I'm going to look at you getting out this damn truck." I'm like, "How are you going to stop and look at ducks when we are responding to an emergency call?" Well, it'll probably be no, go.
yeah.
It's like you are not where are the woo. We've had some humdingers, man.
So the place I work at now, we've got one assistant supervisor that's like, he's like Barney Fife. Like he just gets worked up about one thing all the time. And his biggest kick right now is running emergency to every call we get. And it's like, it doesn't matter. If they call us, it's an emergency. We have to go. Unless the patient says they don't want lights and sirens, we have to go. And on his shift, they have permanent partners. So he was, and
Oh,
I try not to do anything like change how people operate until we got a call at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember looking down this road, and it was probably straight for like 2.5 miles, nothing on this road. And I was like, hey, I don't want to wake people up and have them call 911, cut the damn siren off. I don't care about the lights, cut the damn siren off. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, there's nobody out here. Who are you like alerting? The deer? Cut it
yeah,
off.
who's getting out of your way?
Yeah. And she's like, you know what? That's valid. I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. That's when the lights go out, we do. Like, we ain't cutting these damn lights and sirens on.
And I became quite famous in the area because one night was on a truck with somebody that I didn't typically work with, and I didn't really want to work with her because I'd heard some stuff. But I'm like, all right, I gotta walk taller. I gotta do what needs to be done. So I get on the truck. First thing I do is turn off all the white lights. And she's like, "What kind of witchcraft is this?" And I'm like, "You're not supposed to run white lights at night. Like, have you ever gone through an operations class or, recerted? Like, why, why, no, don't run white lights at night." And she's like, "Why'd you turn the white lights off?" I was like, "It's just like a strobe light. It's going to give me a seizure. I don't want to see this." It's like, it's bad enough we have them on at all. Because typically after 11 p.m., I ain't running nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to get out of my way. I'm pretty much in rural areas. There's nothing out there. So it's like, I can go as fast as I want. There's nothing in my way. And so she's like amazed that I would do this. And the next day, I get called by the supervisor saying that I am not allowed to drive because I had a seizure in the truck.
Oh, that girl.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Nice.
incident. Yeah, but and I literally had to sit down with the leadership of that service and show them studies by multiple agencies where white lights were a bigger problem at night than a 4-flash red light.
Well, that agency is something else.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that is an agency that did not like me.
Yeah. I haven't worked for them, but nor will I.
Why? The people have got to die. Like the leadership has to die. It's real fucking old. Thank y'all so much for stopping in with us tonight, sharing a little bit of your time. Come tell us your stories. Leave some comments. If you're some of the people that I've been talking about tonight, go ahead and tell me how wrong I am. I like it.
Yeah, make sure you comment how wrong he is.
I need to be disciplined.
I've been a very bad boy.
I have. Have you seen the video of the guy who's like getting worked down by the police officer? And he's like, ooh.
Yeah.
He's like, you better quit playing. He's like, well, I'm not playing. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.